Yeah, I definitely meant to say the three phases of the moon, not the three phases of the sun, on that other video a long, long time ago. Um, so this was a thing that I just recently thought of. So one time when I was like, I don't know, 14 or 16 or something, we were at my uncle George's house. My uncle George, my aunt Dawn, Barron over in Idaho. Hey, but they're like, don't say my name. I don't know. I don't know about it. So if they feel deep or away, I don't know about it. But I do recall that we were having a heated discussion about, because even I must have been a little bit older than that then. Were Jada and Shellen born? Well, I guess it must not have been that long ago then. Early 20s maybe. I don't know. Anyway, it was a time period of my life before I really knew about God. It seems to me. Maybe I was just coming into my religious experience. Maybe I was in my late 20s. I don't recall. Anyway, at some point in time previous to now, prior to my going through this whole God thing that I'm going through or whatever, my eyes already are clear. Don't you yell teeth on me. That's really unattractive already. I already got enough not going on for me. So before I was going through this whole God thing, I was there at my uncle's house and I was saying something about how I knew I was going to save the world someday, and how if you believe and I believe, and it's not always rainbows and unicorns unless we make it that way, but um, and whatever, okay. And I was going through this whole God thing where like God had touched me, made it rain right on top of just me or whatever, and I was just telling him, like, that I knew, or telling my kids or something. I don't recall what it was, saying that I was somebody really important and that I knew someday I was going to get to help to be somebody. And I was arguing why I believe in God, and he was like, all right, well, if you believe in God, he was like, well, then why don't you just say that? Why don't I just say that my people don't actually believe in God? Well, we do believe in a God. We believe in one of the many gods, and the God that we believe in is called Gad. And so, like, why don't you just say that we're from the tribe of Gad? and and I think at the time it was like a stone statue or something, and they were like, "This is our representative. This is our deity, our idol, or whatever." But then I think that at one point in time, I think they changed it, or maybe even that day changed it. Like, actually, let's say that it's Thomas the Train Engine, or something like that. I don't know. It's a weird thing that they do to me with their filters and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, and so then all these years later, I'm like learning about the Bible now, and it turns out that the Holy Scriptures, the Bible, the Quran with the K is the same thing. Those are all the same thing. Greek Septuagint, that's like the second half of the Bible. That's the New Testament versus the Old Testament, which is Holy Scriptures, which is in the first five books of Moses: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Numbers. Those are out of order. Those are the first five books of Moses, which are also what comprise the Torah, which is the first part of the Quran with a K, not the Quran with a Q. That's the Muslims is a different one. Okay, but anyway, so there's already like a lot of us who believe in the same exact thing, and like the Catholics' Bible is the same way. They just have extra books because they're books that we simply took out when we brought the Bible with us from Europe to America. Anyway, those are all besides the point. But anyway, so I'm like learning about it now, and it talks about the 12 tribes of Israel and how those are God's chosen people, and how as he made these promises, to King David. This is the fulfillment of the Davidic covenant is the book that I believe that I'm supposed to be writing. Because I do believe that he made this promise that it would be through the original bloodline of King David that the Messiah would return, and then it was, Jesus Christ came, and then they still made a promise that Jesus would have a second coming, that he would come back someday, once things were a little bit better, or once we got through these critical times hard to deal with, or these tribulations, or how we say, which we're very much so still in. We haven't done our war for peace yet, unfortunate. But that's right. It's an effort in the making, hopeful. But and then now it talks about the 12 tribes of the sons of Israel, and those still being God's chosen people, and those being that 144,000 that not who get to judge the hearts, because the 12 tribes of Israel would essentially be the God's kingdom that Jesus Christ himself had, the people that Jesus Christ had chosen from God's original people, from Moses' original people, and who he had to be the ones to sit alongside of him and to help judge over the hearts of the people as we go through heart judgment in these end of times, prior to us stepping into a new heaven or new earth. And it's the 12 tribes of the sons of Israel that would essentially be those whose hearts are being judged, and that would be us. And like I said, my cousin Mandy's got the youngest son Benjamin, and there's the Benjaminites, and my stepsister Kenzie's got Levi, and there's the Levites, excuse me. And then, but it just occurred to me that there's actually the tribe of Gad, Gad, is actually one of the tribes, and so it just made me kind of laugh, because even all those years ago, where he was like totally trying to oppose me, like, I'm going to shoot down your God argument because I don't believe in God. Like, I do believe in God, just not your God. Like, and it was like, oh, well, we believe in Gad, and I was like, well, maybe apparently they're from the tribe of Gad. So if they weren't sure which Issachar maybe they might have thought they fit into, or whichever one was the one for the dog lovers or something. But I'm pretty sure that Gad GAG is the tribe that they probably came from and or belong to. I don't know if they're the good guys or the bad guys or the Pharisees or the Sadducees or anything or whatever. I would assume that they would probably be Sadducees, which because those are the ones who didn't believe in. They all believed that Jesus came and then he lived and then he died, but whether or not he died for our sins or that he came as the Son of God is the part that they don't discredit the fact that he came and he was a person and he did live, and they don't discredit the fact that he may or may not have been involved with, or that many people claim him to have done miracles or claim to have witnessed miracles, and or that those miracles are historically documented in books that are not religious. But anyway, and then I'm looking up at the clouds one day, and I see the atlas and the squid in the sky, being friendly, like my imaginators. The guardian angels manifest in a way that my tiny human being brain can understand it. God, it's making me look so ugly. I can't even handle it. Anyway, and all of a sudden there's Thomas the Train Engine right there in the sky, and I'm thinking like about the tribes of Gad, and it just got me thinking about some of my family who are like non-believers, and how God just like wraps a blanket around all of us. He just like makes it all inclusive. He just like makes it to where you just can't. So you should see my video, and then you should come see my photos. Is there software or something? No, they actually cut my teeth out in real life. They actually put 1,000 pieces of dog shit in my son's bedroom. My son, who has a compromised immune system already from his terminal illness, even though he's not yet terminal. Stop giving me forehead wrinkles and big forehead. You have something that is able to manipulate my physicality or my bodily functions, and you're playing it with it like it's a game.